What is this room? They all looked to the large portal against the far wall. It rumbled mysteriously. They were mesmerized while watching it pulse. Unbelievable. Apollyon walked up to the wall and waved his hand through the aura of light radiating from it. This is no ordinary wall. What is it? Apollyon stuck his staff against the wall and the end of it disappeared. Everyone held their breath when he pulled it back out. His staff was cut clean off. Everyone, stand back! No one had to be told twice. Anyone remotely near the portal jumped backwards. I cannot believe where I stand. This is the mouth of death. We stand but paces from a permanent end. We're dead? No, not yet anyway. We're literally on death's doorstep, though. All we'd have to do is go right in, and then we're dead. So, we are in a limbo between life and death. Voss should be on the other side of this portal, and because he isn't, that's how he gets into our realm? We are exactly where we need to be. This is where everything comes together. Voss will cross into that realm no matter the cost. We need to get him in there? Done. Princess, do not forget that it will not be so simple. Laughter that they all knew and feared echoed around them. This time there was a body to match the voice. An animated suit of armor materialized in the center of the room. Voss? I control everything. I control everything. I control all of the realms. You are here only because I wanted you to be here. Many have blocked your path just now. All who die must pass by the gatekeepers of the Underrealm. I am a Death Knight. You have been prepared for your death. But I saved everyone I could from corruption. Ignorant mortal. Your choices in this realm determine if you spend eternity in torture or in bliss. Inferno and Elysium. But you will spend eternity here. A powerful force shot from Voss and knocked everyone backwards. Saren's feet never left the ground, but he was still pushed back. Voss's power was too strong. Voss blasted them all back a second time. They were closing in towards their doom. You don't have to do this. We know that you were once mortal like us. Voss stopped his next attack. The dark magic of this realm corrupted you and turned you into a monster. Voss's eyes flashed and he was eerily silent. You know nothing of me, mortal. You know nothing of the world that cast me out. The cavern rumbled as Voss grew double in size. What is this, Power Rangers? You are now in my world and I will cast you out. Voss stamped on the ground, sending another powerful shockwave. Loren grabbed at Saren as he came dangerously close to the portal. The dead think they're so clever for getting out of the Underrealm until they're put right back in. Let's get him. Oh, this dummy makes me mad. Enough! Loren heard her sword call out to her. She knew that it was time to use it. She gripped the hilt of the hawk blade. Many things that were once unknown to her became known. She found impulses to perform attacks that she had never performed before. The sword was guiding her hand. With the gods on her side, she knew how this fight was to happen. She knew that she was going to win. Hey, I got Trouble back. Win. How many members did we lose, exactly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God. Suck. Saren's my only healer. Oh, fuck. I don't know if I can do this. Oh, good. Chestplate, gauntlet, helmet, helmet. Ooh, this is going to be hard. First off, let's heal the living hell out of you. Alright, let's lock on to a gauntlet. Ow.
Impossible.
Shit. We have to do our best no matter what. Even if it seems kind of hopeless. I think we can do it.
That was merely fool's luck.
Alright, let's begin the assault. Dora, you take the time to give me back my stuff. There we go.
I showed you.
He almost got his gauntlet. Ooh. Alright, got that one. Alright, restore your health. Restore your health. And Saren, let's give him a potion that increases his speed. Oh fuck, he revived it. This is going to be a really hard fight to win.
And you said I wouldn't be useful.
Thankfully, we are pretty useful right now. Focus target on him. We'll have him down in a second. There we go. Heal you up.
Take me instead.
There we go. Voss shrank down to his original size, falling backwards against the portal to the realm of death. Oh, finally, I thought he would never go down. I feel satisfied, but I do not feel it's over. The wall sputtered and reacted to Voss's body, but he did not fall through. He was not dead. The gateway hasn't opened for him. The Polymisho took in a deep breath. It's time. I didn't think I would get more confused. Footsteps from behind startled them. He's here. Zeal. The Death Knight walked coolly towards them. You cleared my way and you have broken him. It is my time now. What will you do? We were told that he could not be sent back to death without a great sacrifice. I am made of this realm. It bends to me. Zeal leaned down and placed his hand on Voss's helmet. Voss's body began to glow. Everyone stepped back. The light pulsed up Zeal's arm and away from Voss, surrounding him instead. The light then melted into him. What was that? Zeal clenched his jaw and held his head in pain for a moment. The essence of the realm. I took it from him and therefore his power. Zeal cavalierly picked up Voss's armor. You have strayed for too long. Then Zeal tossed the armor away from him and into the portal. All the pieces of Voss disappeared without any contest. They all stared at the wall for any sort of reaction, but there was none. Is he really gone? He will rise no longer. I cannot believe we have trusted to one Death Knight to banish another. That looked almost too easy. And what of you? What will you do now? Zeal looked around the cavern absent-mindedly. Will you ravage Erevorn as well? The Death Knight finally looked at them again. You do not belong here. It is time you return to your realm. Wait! But Zeal did not hesitate in rendering them all unconscious. The sight of the Underrealm faded from their view. Saren could feel his limbs again, and he could see, too. The dreamlike haze had completely left him. He picked himself off the ground. Ash fell from him. The volcano that once housed Voss's lair had been destroyed. All around him, his comrades rose from the rubble and helped each other to stand. Saren saw Mesfit searching the debris for him. He called out to him, and Mesfit responded. The Dark Elf was dusty and battle-worn, but he was radiant in the light. Saren could see now how Mesfit truly was without the dark blinding him. Mesfit placed his forehead on Saren's, and they each closed their eyes to take in the depth of what just happened. Loren and Karen were standing by the edge of the new cliffside, looking down below. The armies below were celebrating a great victory and tending to the wounded. They had truly won the day. Saren took several very sore steps to stand by his majesties. They received him with a smile that said a million words. Loren started laughing first, then Saren and Karen followed them both. Their limbs ached, their wounds were deep, but they were laughed until tears formed in their eyes. It was over. It was finally over, and no one had to say goodbye. They looked over at the horizon together. Rescue teams began to scale the volcano's cliff. The sun was the same as the one they had seen the morning they marched from Hammerhands, but at that moment, it looked brand new. Loren was crowned Queen of the Amazons. She was welcomed warmly by her people. Celebrations were held for months after the crowning, toasting to Loren and Karen's great triumphs. Loren made sure to use the knowledge that the Great Mothers had bestowed upon her in her trial. Though her rule would be different from tradition, it would be for the better. Loren's first act as queen was to release Saren from service, making him a free man. The transition was not as great as Saren was expecting, as he had been given much more freedom than he realized, but the feel of first stepping out of the Citadel's gates would be a memory he would long remember. The most important decree of Loren's rule was that the immediate release of all slaves from the service of the Citadel. All sons born of Amazon women were to be given full rights and citizenship as a daughter would have. Not everyone was pleased with the new direction of the Amazons, and some rebelled against Loren. However, they learned that she was not a weak queen. Loren handled all of her challengers with ease, earning her their newfound respect. Between Saren, Loren, and her defenders, the discrimination against man slowly faded away as they proved to be a beneficial part of their society. The concept of a male Amazon became more of a reality as their civilization grew. Karen became a representative of the Amazons to the Empire and the Elves. She helped change the world's view of the Amazons, just as Loren was changing things within the Citadel. She found ways to build trust with the lizard people in the swamp and help show Erevorn that they were an intelligent and unique race worth respect. Mesfit took his father's place as the leader of the Desert Dark Elves. He could never return to the forest like his brothers, but it was comfort enough for him to know that it was now an option available to his people. The call inside of him would never truly go away, but he learned how to overcome it. Mirth became a renowned elder druid, claiming radical isolationists and showing the beauty of opening the forest up to the world. Though some elves still insisted that they didn't want to be influenced by any outside culture, most elves saw that they could keep their culture while embracing others. The Empire made efforts to repair the rift between the human and the elven nations after pressure on the council from Apollymesho, who was reinstated as Archwizard by popular demand. There was great support from both populations, easing the passing of a decree that formally made the two nations allies. Apollymesho himself was finally able to pursue his alchemy in ways that could help the whole world and not just himself. He took on as many apprentices as he could handle and helped spread his knowledge of the science across Erevorn. Many lives would be saved from his discoveries. Dora lived with Rammus and his family's estate in Hammerhands. Yes! Helping to rebuild the city. And their new family. Yes! Ramus made sure that he provided Dora with a good life, and few shiny presents now and then to keep her out of any jails. Ray's prejudice against the Dark Elves disappeared over time. He even became an advocate for their integration back into the forest. He put his assassin days behind him and tried to put his skills to better use. Draco was requested to become a professor at the Horus Magic Academy by none other than Professor Howell himself. Draco accepted a job and became a favorite teacher, but he also helped the school become a more safe and hospitable place for its students. Amakiki worked to help re-establish the nomad tribes in the north. While some were moving back south to find their herds, many nomads wished to stay. Amakiki helped spread tolerance and support for his people, and the nomads came to respect him instead of shun him. Salzer returned to Mount Kronos a better monk. He imparted everything he learned to his disciples. With the undead lowering in numbers, Salzer was pleased to let more disciples travel freely away from the mountain to do good in society, as he had done so much after leaving himself. Chambara was finally allowed to move back to her home in the swamps where she lived in solitude as she really preferred. Witch hunters would never cease to exist, but Chambara herself had earned a good enough name to live in relative safety for the rest of her life. Saren became the Amazon ambassador between the Citadel, the Empire, and the Forest. He liked that his job allowed him to travel often and routinely meet with old friends. Saren's heroism inspired the Amazons and others to think more highly of men. With each generation, the gap between factions grows tighter and tighter. Mesfit had been good at controlling himself in the time after Voss fell, but then he grew increasingly anxious and hostile. When he was lucid, he said he couldn't explain the transformations anymore, as they seemed even more powerful than before. Saren feared that Mesfit's condition was worsening and that he may completely be lost someday. The idea frightened them both, but Saren told Mesfit that no matter what happened, that he would take care of him. But during a transformation, Mesfit's demon side attacked Saren again. He was ashamed at how dangerous he was becoming. He told Saren that a monster like him didn't belong with him and left. It would be a long, long time until Saren found Mesfit again and convinced him differently. Aw, come on! The candle flickers its last breath of light, snuffing out the light in the room as it turns to liquid wax. The monk continues to hold his quill above the page, now too dark to write any more. He leans back into his chair, satisfied with the story that he had managed to write thus far. Even though there's more to tell, the story of Loren, the Princess of the Amazons, had reached its end. The monk's withered hands reach up to his cloak and pull down the hood around his white locks of hair. He approaches the monastery's window. The tale of Loren had been written, and her people would read from these scrolls, learning how glorious a queen her great mothers must have welcomed. He feels the breeze on his face and an ancient ache in his heart. The last words he had written had struck his core, but he smiles to himself. Not only Loren's story was told that night. For you. Saren leaves the window and slips into his bed, prepared for the relief of a deep, deep sleep. Holy shit! Saren. Well, that is the end of Loren the Amazon Princess. Holy shit. Now, I've played a total of 3 games, I believe, made by this very development company. Let me bring up their name here because I want to give absolute kudos to them. Winter Wolves Games. These guys specialize in very high quality visual novels and RPGs. Overall, I've played Loren the Amazon Princess now through and through, and I've played their new game called Roommates. And I have to say, the writers do a very excellent job in conveying emotion, really making you care about characters or be interested in characters. I mean, God forbid, I was probably the biggest Dora and Ramus fan ever. But yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed this and the story. I will have to admit that I kind of wish there was more like quote-unquote happy endings. Like, I don't know, that was pretty... There was a bit of sadness in the way that Misfit and Saren's romance kind of came in the epilogue. Like, I have hurt you again. I must run away now. And never see him until much, much later. Yeah, he finds him later, but would have been nice if it was just like Saren and Misfit lived the rest of their days together, or... Although there was a strain due to Saren being an ambassador now, and Misfit being in charge of the desert camp where the Dark Elves used to be, they still found a way to make things work, and they lived relatively peaceful lives from that time forward. You know, I kind of feel like I wished for an ending like that, honestly, but given Misfit's background, I can kind of understand why it went that direction. And he is still hot. Just saying. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this playthrough of Loren the Amazon Princess. I surely did. If I do an Eleanor playthrough, I'm not entirely sure when. It might not be too soon, because I would like to, you know, I would like to play it again when my memory kind of fades a little bit of, like, some of the events in the game. That way, it'll be another fresh experience. Doing another playthrough of this game so soon would just be kind of overkill, you know? So, yeah, winterwolves.com. I would definitely check out their other games. You know, they do things like Roommates. They've done, let me actually bring up their site here. They've done games called Roommate, Bionic Heart. They're doing a sequel for Loren the Amazon Princess. There's another game that they're looking to do. I believe it's like spiritual successor to Loren the Amazon Princess, or it's a side story. It's like Spirit of the Wolves. I can't entirely remember the name of it. They're also planning a sequel for Loren the Amazon Princess, which I will definitely check out for sure. So yeah, I definitely think it's worth looking out for. Oh, what the hell. Oh boy. Zeal stepped into the broken room and revealed himself to Jewel. Tears welled up in her eyes at the sight. Zeal. Oh, Zeal. She ran up to him and they embraced. I told you I would find you. Jewel laughed and hugged him closer. I knew it was you. I could feel you when it happened. But I couldn't believe it because this realm is ours now. We will make them understand. You and your kind will finally be at peace. God damn it! She caressed his face. And we will be together. When you start the game again, press the C key to access a cheat menu. Story mode will let you automatically win all battles. Useful if you want to replay the game quickly to see an alternate ending. God damn it. So I didn't save it from evil. I basically fucked us still. Well, that's embarrassing. Oh, no. That was abrupt. I don't know how to exit out of this, so I'm just going to say I have enjoyed this playthrough immensely. If you did too, I encourage you to leave likes and comments, as it helps and benefits the growth of the channel and tells me you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm Rye. I hope you guys enjoyed again. Happy gaming, everybody. See you soon.